We're ranking Pikmin by how good they do in Pikmin 4, right? And there's no Ochi here because Ochi is broken. All right, so we got broken. Motherfucker's broken. We got solid. They're solid. We got, yeah, they're okay, I guess. Yeah, they're pretty good, but you could probably use something else. Really? It's like, why'd you bring it? Like, why? Then we got bruh, which is like, these are dead, just downright negative. And then MIA, which we'll get to MIA coming up. Starting off with red Pikmin. Red Pikmin. Oh my god. They're solid, yeah. They do a lot of damage. They do very, very well. When in doubt, you can use a red Pikmin. No, and plus them being able to carry the fire starters, like the flaming pine cones, is also a huge buff. Like, they're very, very good. You can't go wrong using red Pikmin. Yeah, fire is a very common hazard. Yellow Pikmin. The throw height is not as useful because Ochi just bonks things down, you know, run into a wall. Their digging speed's great though, but everything else also digs a little faster, but they're just kind of like okay. Because electricity isn't as powerful as it was in Pikmin 2. Obviously, it can kill your Pikmin now, but they need to increase the kill speed for it to be worth it using yellows more often. It's about the same as being lit on fire, but your Pikmin don't move. You get zapped and you fall backwards, but you can still whistle in time, so it's like, why bother? Then we got blue Pikmin. And blue Pikmin are weird because they kind of get like outpaced by like ice Pikmin, but they can dive. That's cool. That's about it. They're also okay, I guess. And they never will do well in terms of combat because if you make them too strong, then you just kind of break them. Blue Pikmin can never have like a combat advantage or like a throwing advantage. Like maybe in the water they can like maybe attack faster in the future, but like it's unfortunate. They don't do anything incredibly well besides go underwater. You know? And water's great to deal with in one area, and that's about it. Well, technically, like 3. Then we got the Puffmin. Look at the Puffmin. He's got a mushroom on his head, and he's a little purple, and he's got the mushroom, and he's... Bruh. Next is the purple Pikmin. The purple Pikmin. This is just his head. We only have the head of the purple Pikmin. That's all we could afford. We couldn't afford any other part of his body. We are very broke right now. Yeah, they're broken. They do the same amount of damage as a red Pikmin, but they have the impact damage, which is very, very good. They have just stronger... You only need one purple Pikmin to carry some things sometimes. Sometimes you need a little more. But if something requires 100 lifting power or more, you're incredible. Great for combat, great for carrying. Wonderful. In comes the white Pikmin. Pikmin as a whole are faster and everyone can dig. Right? Everyone has like X-ray vision because back in Pikmin 2, white Pikmin had the X-ray vision. They could see underground. All Pikmin have that now. It's unfortunate, but they're still pretty good because like their speed is incredible, which all Pikmin are faster, but white Pikmin are so much faster. They're so good at carrying, right? You basically set them on like a pile of gold and you just kind of forget about it and they just finish and they're done instantly. You don't need that many white Pikmin to deal with a pile of nuggets, you know, because they just deal with the pile of nuggets so much faster than every other Pikmin type. Plus, like, being able to carry fast is good. Like, they're just so fast. They're the only efficient way to deal with poison hazards that aren't Ochi, risking losing a purple Pikmin or glow Pikmin. You know, that's not that crazy. They just don't do that much damage. They got nerfed back in Pikmin 3 to do, like, half a damage compared to, like, everyone else doing, like, 1 damage, 1.5, and with the splash damage. They're just weak as hell. But they're not designed for combat. They can just run around. When they're really good, they're incredible. But I do like white Pikmin just because they make the game so much faster. Low-key, I'm gonna buff them up. Fuck it, they're solid. Then we got the Bulbmin. He's MIA. The rock Pikmin. Like, really, dog? The rock Pikmin are able to break crystals and glass and such because they're rocks, but they aren't good at anything else. Their one niche is for some reason when you use charge, the charge mechanic. If you have enough rock Pikmin, they do their damage all at once. So you just send out a charging of a bunch of rock Pikmin and you basically one-shot so many things, right? That's good, but like then you have to bring around a bunch of rock Pikmin. And they don't do anything else. Like, they're not immune to anything besides crushing. You know, they're not particularly fast. Latching onto things is difficult because they just bounce off enemies, so you have to charge all the time. It's unfortunate, but you don't really have a variety with them. Next, the winged Pikmin. And it's also like, really, dog? These guys are probably the worst Pikmin type in the game because they fucked up their pathfinding. So what winged Pikmin used to do is they used to fly around. They'd be able to fly over water. They'd be able to cheese lifting puzzles. They'd be able to get stuff faster. You know, they're able to avoid enemies because they're flying. A bunch of cool shit, right? Honestly, winged Pikmin used to be unbelievably broken. And then Pikmin 4 said, nah. And I think part of the reason why they're so bad is because they're also, you find them later. And so it's like, damn. That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. Because, like, you only get, like, 10 of them originally, and you get, like, another 10 later on, so you have, like, 20-ish, I think. But you don't get their onion until effectively the end of the game. So you can't even, like, grow a reasonable supply of them. Because if you could just, like, have, like, hell, even if you had, like, 50 of them, they might low-key be actually better. They're solid carriers, but that's only if they're able to pathfind. And usually they can't pathfind. You know, they take the same path as all the other Pikmin, but then what's the point? You have wings. Go over the fucking water. They don't go over the water. Like, what's the point? Like, blue Pikmin go through the water, white Pikmin are faster at going the path, like, the path that the wing Pikmin would take normally, so it's like, why even bother? Like, what are we doing? Alright, next is ice Pikmin, and these guys are fucking insanely good. So they freeze water, they don't do a lot of damage, but in Pikmin 2, there was a spray called the Ultra Bitter Spray, and you would spray an enemy with it, and it would become a rock. It would become a fucking, it would just become a giant rock. And you could beat on the rock, and then once it broke, it would release like nectar and like sprays and such, right? You know, very, very broken. The bitter spray was absolutely broken. So the ice pick can do the same thing. So you throw an ice Pikmin onto an enemy, you start punching, you start beating the shit out of it, right? And it'll develop a ring around its health bar that's blue. And once that little health bar like reaches the end, it freezes the enemy, and then you just beat the shit out of the enemy. Ice Pikmin are broken. They're absolutely insane. They're so good. And last but not least, glow Pikmin. Yeah, they're fine. They're very easy to farm, but you can't use them in the overworld, which sucks. You're stuck to caves and nighttime. And since you're stuck to caves and nighttime, they're super restricted. And so the glow Pikmin, they're a neat little concept. And they have this like, they can turn into an energy ball. If you know energy ball from Pokemon, it's called the glow mob. They turn into a glow mob, and they go out and they stun enemies. They do a ton of damage, but like it just sucks that they're only restricted in night times and caves. Like they'd be better if you could like use them during the overworld, just in super limited quantities. But like you have to do a night fish mission to farm them. You know, it's not like you can go do a thing and you just like you collect a pellet and boom, you got more. You know, it's unfortunate, but still very, very good. They're very useful into the final boss fight, like incredibly good in the final boss fight. But yeah, like honestly, this is the list. Yeah.